Hello everybody and welcome back. I've got a little bit of a surprise that I haven't shown anybody yet at all. Hold on 2 seconds here. There we go. Oh, good. So when I got this weird guy, which I have completed, and I'll be, if I haven't already, there will be another video on this guy about how it was all put together and all that kind of stuff. So either look out for that or it'll be in the description down below. Now, I kind of have a little bit of a surprise that I also got at the same time. There it is. As I got that one. I got an RX-78-2 perfect grade Gundam. If you do not know what this Gundam is, it is basically the very first Gundam. Like, whenever somebody says something about Gundam, usually, or depending on which time era they've been in, usually they would think of this if they've seen them before, or just depending on how things go. But this is basically the very first Gundam that all of these guys have been through. And this kit was made in 1998. I don't know how I can show you that, but it says on all the runners. It's going to be extremely hard for you guys to see that. But over here, it says Bandai 1998, made in Japan. So, basically, if you're younger than 15, 16 years old, no, 17 years old or so, this Gundam is older than you are. And that's something you don't hear very often. And I also believe that this might be one of the very first perfect grade Gundams that they've done as well. And it shows. But just as a really quick note, over here you'll see my Astray Red Frame lying down. He took a little bit of a tumble here. When I was trying to set up something else, he took about just a little over 2 foot fall. Yeah, by accident. Just a couple pieces popped off. Other than that, he seems fine. So when you're considering getting Gundams and you're a little bit worried about stuff like that, don't be extremely worried. In my case, it was a complete accident, but he seems to have survived. I just gotta do. I actually wanted to be panel lining him anyways, so it was kind of a okay. Well, now it's time to panel line him. So after that, let's get back to the Gundam here. So what you'll get is just the normal trees, as you've seen before, just the trees. You'll get a poop ton of polycaps. These are all polycaps, like the rubbery kind of, do the wave kind of with it kind of deal. You'll get screws, a lot of screws. I have somehow ended up with 4 extras. Just right in here. And yes, this is just a normal fish tackle box. They're great for keeping things secure and organized at the same time. Now, and also, this is the first kit that I have customized. Yes, this is my first endeavor into painting a Gundam, really. I've not done a lot of painting on it, just here and there. You'll see when I start pulling out the pieces. Now, the actual construction manual gets a little bit confusing. Actually, really confusing at times. Especially in the head. Basically, for the head, that's all the wiring and stuff for the LED, which I do have in it. I just don't have the battery for it. So yeah, I just said, no, I'm just going to do this. I actually had to look up pictures on the internet for it, which is kind of shows you how they were doing stuff back in 1998 when this was made. And also, I will have to say, it's nice having this sticker thing, except for when you don't really show stickers, like here on them. And you don't really show if there's anything on the inside or anything like that of the legs, as some of the modern ones do. So that's just a couple little points about this Gundam. It's not a starter Gundam, as some people have said. It's once you've done a couple of them, then try it. But don't make this your first perfect grade. You'll be frustrated and stuff, and you will also need a screwdriver because of the screws. Unlike the perfect grade unicorn, where you don't need any screwdrivers at all. This guy, I think he only has like 1 or 2 screws in him. Not that bad. Let's get on to the next. Let's start seeing some of the parts. So this is the beam saber that came with the perfect grade Strike Freedom, which the video is just going up. Very good. So that's it there. These bulky things are what they have for the RX-78-2 Gundam. Bulky, thick, not like they're really bulky. They don't really have much give. These ones look more like a sword. This looks more like a stick. And I know the anime and all that kind of stuff, and I know it just shows you how much they've improved on the perfect grades since they started. Now, for weaponry. This is my gold Banshee as a gold unicorn master grade gun here. This is mostly what they look like now, or larger, stuff like that. This weird looking thing is the perfect grade RX-78-2's gun. Yeah. It looks pretty weird, but hey, Bandai, you've learned. You've learned not to do something like as drastic as, especially this yellow part here. See if we just take that off. That looks like a decent gun right there. That looks like a decent SMG right there. But no, they had to put on this scope kind of thing. Looks like a flash spotlight kind of deal on the gun. Anyways, now this is the Stray Red Frame perfect grade right there. That's his shield. This is the RX-78-2's shield. Quite big, quite plain is what I would say for this. Like a lot of the other shields, which I actually don't see any that I can grab quickly here. Yeah, I actually don't see any that I can grab really quickly here. But they usually have something else on it. Basically, it has the window gimmick on it. So you can kind of see my finger behind it. And you can't see it at all because there's a white kind of shield, glass shield. And this goes up and down on the ratchet system. And yeah, this can move around and stuff like that. So that's pretty well the tour of the shield. It's a little bit boring, but still, it's a nice looking. It could use it with a couple, like with this, with like a Gundam or let me just double check here that I'm going to get this right before I actually say it. An EFSF kind of symbol up here. That would make it look they would break it up a little bit. But other than that, it's a shield. What else can you say about it? And that's all the accessories that it comes with. Now, these are pretty standard. Their legs, they do the bend. They have a nice little gap that creates here. But this is one of the Gundam, one of the very few where you could actually remove all this outer armor and still have an inner frame in it. Let's see, I just took off part of the leg armor right there. And if it cooperates, I should be able to put it right back where it was. Now you can see some of the customization right here. This would be more of this kind of gray color right in here, but I painted it a kind of metallic aluminum silver. This is actually the one I used right here. Just a very light coat in there, and then I went over it with a Gundam marker as well to darken it up and wipe that all away, and it turned out great. And apparently this one likes to be a pogo stick. Yes, there is a spring in there that's actually making it do this. So, and it's the same for both legs. More parts come up the back here. The actual knee, well, comes off. But it's supposed to be able to be moved. But and I did the same customization here. That's the bottom of the foot with the two thrusters, rockets. Whatever you want to call them, they're there. The waist unit with a bit more customization here. I've done this for each one of these yellow panels here. And yes, these do feel solid. They do feel nice. This goes in and out for some reason. No one except for Bandai knows why. And this is a really tough part. But it actually opens up like this, so then you can store the gun or whatever you want to in there. This part just kind of slides out if you want it to. Now they've done something a little bit different here. Usually there's a ball socket, like there's a ball socket point here. Actually, I can show you with my Rogue here. I've taken it apart because I'm wanting to do a little bit of a demonstration on it eventually here. So, I know Yeah, you can see it here. Usually they have a ball socket kind of here and at the bottom of the torso, and then these would just snap in together. This is a little bit different here. They actually have you put in that part while you're building the waist unit because of one of the gimmicks that it has. So you can kind of get an idea of how much the body can turn and stuff. So that's a little neat thing, different thing. Now on the arm units here, I have the shoulder pads on because I didn't want to lose track of which one goes with which, just because of stickers and stuff like that. Now I have no idea why this panel does not want to sit in properly, but it just does not want to sit there properly at all. So, but it has the normal-ish range of motion here. And it also does have that same gimmick. Basically, this is throughout the body here, where it has thrusters here. You can open up the arm unit here and look inside, see what's going on. Oh, that could be the problem. Let me just do a little quick fix here. Yeah, that didn't help at all. But it has the same on the other side. And on the shoulders as well, where you can lift them up and see what's all underneath. And yes, more customization here. And just remember, this is the first time I've actually done any painting on a Gundam as well, so I'm really happy about the way it turned out. Hands are completely articulated, just as usual, with a perfect grade. Wouldn't really expect anything different from Bandai to change up that. Especially seeing so most of their master grades can do this as well. And yes, I did say most. Now, here's the chest unit here. And yes, I did do a little bit of painting on the inside of the vents. I don't know if you can see that very well, but inside of the vents here are details and stuff like that. So, this is just the hatch here. Pretty standard stuff. Head. Now, both these parts flip up, so then you can see how the shoulder joint works. And also you can see a little bit more customization here. They just fold back down and snap into place, which is nice. I like that. You won't see too many panel lines on this model, or this Gundam. Now, usually Bandai has here a waist basically a bend here where you can bend them like this, side to side. This guy does not. In fact, inside is completely hollow. And you'll notice that when I lifted this up, there wasn't a cockpit inside of here. That's because this one is one of those weird ones that gets this at its center. Now, if you don't know what this is, don't worry. It's quite simple, really. It's a plane. Okay? Full-fledged. With weapons. Don't want to stay in right now, but it does have weapons. Just fix this up. And it would have a landing gear. I haven't put it together yet, so that's what's not there yet. But it does have a plane. Now you see the problem with this is that this would go on the inside of here. How fun is that to have a plane that you could look at and use when it's on the inside of here? Okay? How fun would that be? Not very fun. So they've gone ahead and included this. This is just basically the plane here. Completely folded up. Just like this. But just with a few less parts. And as you can tell, I have gone ahead and painted this. This is the most customized part in the whole kit. I'm very happy with how it came out. Just using enamel paints. That's all I did. So, yeah. Now, we also have the backpack. Here, I've already gone ahead and put on the beam sabers with the gimmick of this. Works better without the beam sabers in it, but you can lift this up. See what's going on underneath there, which is actually pretty neat. Now, if you remember, for the 30th anniversary, they had a promo going on with this one where you could get all the parts, like all the armor parts clear, and you could see on the inside, which is neat if you don't mind painting a whole lot of parts, because there's a ton of detail in this kit, which I love, which is why I painted some of it, just so then they would stand out a little bit more than this, even though this is this, yeah. So, and then we have the head. The head's pretty standard, Gundam head with these two parts that fold out. I could have painted inside of here, but I kind of like the darker look inside. And this would be the switch if it actually worked, which it does not. So that's why the battery in this is pretty... I don't even have a battery in it at all. Let's start putting it together. And as usual with these kits, this is the first time I've ever seen this kit in person. So excuse me if I do whatever I usually do. You guys should be used to this by now, but just for all those new people who are always welcome. So I'm just slotting them to the legs into the into the waist unit, not the leg unit, but the waist unit. And okay, well, that one wasn't quite slotted in correctly. Or else it might be one of those difficult legs. So there's the unit so far. Pretty standard. Now I'm going to be using this block that they included in the kit. I know it's a little bit darker than the other one, but it's just I don't have many other options, so I want it to keep the plane. Okay. Okay, so that's all of it with the center block inside. And there is no stand with this one, unfortunately. Unless you bought it like within a certain time, and well, obviously that time is well past. And I'm just going to put on the arms backwards. No, but the arms just slot into here, into each side. They're pretty well just building a person at this point. Okay. And yes, this is going to be a little bit bigger than the Astray Red frame. And there we go. That is the RX-78-2 Gundam. Just want to move you guys up just a little bit, just so then you can see it a little bit easier. There we go. Now I'm going to stand up my Astray Red frame right beside him. That's not good. Get back in there, clean it. Just want to make a quick fix to the Astray Red frame. And there we go. So as you can see, it is a little bit taller. Not much. Just a little bit. Yes, I do have the batteries in this guy. I'm gonna just quickly so it's just a little bit taller, just a hair taller, but you can see the design difference here. This guy looks very robotish, whereas this looks more like a fighter. So, oh, almost forgot his backpack. There we go. There. Now he's complete. And that is about it. So, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. And until next time, remember to rock on.